What video games consume the largest portion of your life? I have 58 days played on one of my characters in World of Warcraft, which comes to about 1,392 hours. I have 54 days played on another character, so 1,296 hours of time. Those are the two longest by a pretty wide margin. But I have quite a few characters with 20 days played at 600 hours each. This isn't even counting all the characters I played and deleted. The answer is World of Warcraft, and it isn't even close. After that, it's probably Marvel Snap with somewhere around 1,200 hours played. Add everything up, it'd probably say GTA 5. Especially if we can include the standard online side of things. Haven't done so in about a year or almost to by now though. But still questions said my life, so my answer should be good. I see people going by entire game series as their answer. So if we talking entire series and not just the one acclimated hours of gaming on that one game crossed my life. And my series answer has to be the infamous franchise. Definitely Madden. I played hundreds of seasons, started on PS1, and PS2 then PS3. Played a lot of games that I loved and grinded through. Only Madden was a game I always loved going back to. I used to make my favorite team the Chiefs SB champs and kinda joke it was the only way I could see them in a playoff LOL. Ironically, I have been back playing it as it's my youngest son's favorite game. He's 6. My older two are really into Fortnite. Okay. I know this is ancient history at this point, but I played Quake 3 competitively through online clans that were relatively new back then. For 5 years. I spent 5 years playing LAN and won tournaments. Let me just say many noobs were PWNT in those days. Some were even OWNT. I still have my well-worn Alienware neon green mouse from back then. That thing did its duty and got retired with dignity. There are a few games that probably have a lot of hours but weren't tracked, like Pokemon Ruby or Minecraft. But nothing would come even remotely close to RuneScape. You know you have a problem when the game no longer shows your playtime in hours, but days. Around 250 on my main account. I had no life as a kid. Nintendo Land. It was a surprisingly fun game for us when we were young. The Metroid battle was the best, and we mostly did the fight against each other and would roll around as the balls and have fun. I feel like Capcom as a company owes me my childhood because of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. My cousins and I would stay up all night playing it, especially during the summer. We'd usually start at 7-8 p.m. after dinner and just stop playing when we realized the sun's about to come up. Too many. Got 7,000 hours in Rocket League. Almost 10k in CSGO. 3k in ESO. Over 1k in Borderlands 2. Many games that are open world. I have hundreds of hours in, if not more. GTA games combined. Probably 5 digits easy. Fallout series. Probably even more. And with the Beth games in general. Zelda Pokemon. Pokemon game that comes out, spend hours unnecessarily grinding. My team Stardew Valley has been creeping up there though. I go through a cycle of Stardew, Slay the Spire, Skyrim every few months. Stardew Valley. I started playing a little before the pandemic started, and once it did, it became my little safe haven. I spent a couple months without playing it, and now with the new update, I haven't left my laptop except for school and eating with my family. Easily Skyrim. I've probably been playing it for 10 years now across different platforms. I remember when I finally got a good enough PC and immediately got it there too, and started modding. Elden Ring is probably my second, at just over 200 hours currently. Spent way too much time on GTA Online. I think I'm level 350. I ended up not wanting to do any missions and just selling cars to buy new cars. Will always love Hitman though. Hitman 12 and 3. I've memorized the Silent Assassin suit. Only runs such a great game. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Not to discount the other Animal Crossing games that I also have a disgusting amount of hours in. But during lockdown I would play it for 12-18 hours a day. I have over 4k hours in it at this point. I have like 4,800 hours in Gary's mod, and I only ever played the Trouble in Terrorist Town game mode from age 11ish to 1ish. Made some lifelong friends and became a part of some great communities over the years. Good times. In 2012 I remember adding up how many days I played COD online since COD 4. It was close to 72 days of COD between all the games. Don't think any other game could drain 72 waking days from my life quite like peak COD. From 2007-2011, when I was 13-17, MapleStory was my life. I dedicated 8 hours daily to that game and sometimes even up to 20 hours on weekends. At the end of my run with that game, I sold my account for $2,000. Good times. The Tony Hawk series, from 1 to 4, then Underground, the Underground on the PSP. Then I got Project 8 as a present, and I remember it being ... average. By that time I put a lot of time into all those games. Especially when the expansion DLC drops later this year, Factorio. There's always something to do. It's one of those games I have to set an alarm and get up and stop playing when the alarm goes off. The Sims 1 for played it day and night, since the very first day it came out, but stopped 2 years ago. It only gets worse, and I am so mad at AL for capitalizing this wonderful series to death. Realm of the Mad God Unturned Terraria, more recently League of Legends. I am talking to K+ hours in each. Honorable mentions are Rust, Brawlhalla, CSGO, with approx 1K hours in each. Overwatch 1, I would be up all night playing that, getting only 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and then getting up to go to work, just to come home and repeat the cycle. I did that for 2 or 3 months. Terraria, I've had it on Steam since May 2018. Laptop broke shortly after. Got a new one that sucked us in 2020. Have over 1,000 hours, with another game on Steam having over 800. Was born in 2005. Minecraft was massive for my childhood from 2011 onwards. In the last few years Fortnite has been massive. Different AFL games have been huge for me. Bloons TD5. Last I checked I had over 300 days of playtime in RuneScape. That was about 10 years ago. And I still play off and on today, so ... yeah, I'd say probably that. LOL. World of Warcraft. Pretty much 10 years solid hardcore raiding 3 times a week with raid prep taking up all other spare time. God knows how my wife didn't leave me ... Pokemon Yellow, as a child struggling with bit wanting to be alive. I lost myself in that game for years. Didn't have a lot of Momi, so didn't have a lot of games. Hades. I don't play any other video games, and I got obsessed with it and put like 500 hours in over the course of a few months. Almost 300 of those were just in one. The Sims 3. In middle school, high school, and a little bit now. I've been obsessed with The Sims 3. I have over 1,000 hours on Steam in the game. She's my baby 3. Soulsborne games. Dark Souls 1 to 3. Demon's Souls. Bloodborne. And a bit of Elden Ring. Don't know how people could put thousands of hours into anything else. Halo CE to Halo Reach plus COD Valve to Black Ops 2. I'm 26 and have been playing Halo ever since CE came out. Literal years of my life dedicated to those games. Overall it would be StarCraft and StarCraft 2. Played countless 1v1 over 20 years. And even with all that playtime, only made it to Master one time LOL. I played WoW heavily for 10 years, and I have well over 365 days played across 3 tunes. I've since quit playing, but yeah, I wasted a lot of time on that game. I had to pause Baldur's Gate 3 for a good while because I could not get enough of it, and it was getting in the way of my actual responsibilities. Rocket League. I've played no other games for more than maybe 20 hours max, and that's like 1 or 2. But I've spent thousands in car soccer, not proud. GTA 4 and 5s, as well as Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales' roaming modes. I'm addicted to the free roaming, exploring the maps of different games. Ultima Online. Literally months of macroing and trying to keep characters busy all throughout my school years. Good times, but very time-wasting. We sports resort. My HH in table tennis against that pest Lucia is abysmal. I spent ages trying to beat her. Nowadays I'm just playing Beam. Cataclysm, dark days ahead. A continuously evolving, free, community-driven hardcore rouge like Apocalypse RPG, with immersive sim elements. Probably around 500,600 days on WoW. I meant to 4 hours by 500,600 days. Not played the game for 500,600 days. Played it for a decade and a half. WoW World of Warcraft love and miss that game so much. I was one of the best beast mastery hunters. The battlegrounds was the best. To pawn by magnetic scrolls from back in the days. Not sure if anybody recognizes it. Come to think of it, I never finished it. LOL. GoldenEye, Vice City, San Andreas, Brothers in Arms are TH30i, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Red Dead 1 to fuck, man, I don't know. Unreal Tournament 1999, Counter-Strike 1.6, PlanetSide 2, TF2, Heroes and Generals, AO2, Quake Live, Assetto Corsa and RuneScape, DOG Pokemon, Red, Yellow, Gold, Crystal, StarCraft and Brood War, GTA Online. Wish I could get back into games like I used to.